you haven't heard of Lethal Company yet, you probably are living under a rock, or just have no friends to play with. Damn, that might have been a little bit harsh. Well, if you haven't, the game has been absolutely popping off lately, and I won't lie, it was a little bit of a mystery to myself at first. How does a game with piss-poor graphics, minimal upfront storytelling, and the most basic gameplay loop I've played in quite some time incur so much success? The answer lies within the modern gaming industry. Ever since the initial success of Fortnite, every AAA developer has seen how much money can be milked out of impressionable consumers by putting in as little development work as possible and realized the gold mine they were missing out on. Shortly thereafter, Overwatch stops getting updates, Apex releases alongside Valorant, and now Overwatch 2 comes out as free with more microtransaction bullshit. Coincidence? I think not. At the end of the day, when companies go public, money is the most important thing, and it is not like we didn't see this coming. It is much easier to make an okay game with tons of opportunities for conversions than spend a ton of time making a great game just for it to possibly never reach the hype needed. But in this pursuit of blatant capitalism, companies really lost sight of what really made video games magical. Now, I'm not going to say the cliche thing of, oh, playing with friends is what makes games magical, because that really isn't always the case. I mean, look at Baldur's Gate 3. That game really isn't about playing with friends, although it is a possibility. That game is successful because it is such a breath of fresh air and quality off of an existing successful franchise in a genre we know is going to pop off. In that space, the quality and agency given to the player is what makes it magical. So the magic really comes down to the genre and how the player gets to enjoy the agency provided. In a cooperative horror game like Lethal Company, the magic really does come down to how the player can interact with the others they are playing with. The adventure with your friends and the feeling of uneasiness as their voices fade away in death can make it scary or hilarious depending on how you want to make it, giving the players the magic of agency, however they see fit. That is why Lethal Company is so good. I mean, let's be real. If you really stripped the game down to its simplest parts, Lethal Company is the same few levels, running into a building that is slightly different every time, gathering the same types of loot, avoiding the same variations of monsters, all to meet a slightly higher quota every single day. The replayability on paper should not be worthy of more than 50 hours in a month. Seriously, if you are playing this game this much on my Steam friend list, it is a testament to how good the developer gets it. In other words, on paper, the game shouldn't really be good. It would probably end up being a 5 out of 10 if I was really trying to rate it. Lethal Company is good though due to the amount of agency the player gets to define their own experience, whether it be through the pure power of friendship or the extensive mod packs around the internet. Through all of this discussion, we should understand why games like Lethal Company and Baldur's Gate 3 are so successful. They innovate on the current formula abused in the market and put the player's agency first. And we need more of these games because that is what is actually enjoyable. The reality of it is that modern games don't give the player true agency. It's also important to understand though that this is a really difficult thing to achieve in a competitive space, which is what has been popular for quite a while now. The first step though is to stop shoving the in-game store down the player's throat first, and I think we are starting to realize that. At the end of the day, if players stop purchasing skins in games, the companies will start making less money, and then they will wake up and change the products they are offering us. If the companies aren't selling, then they have to change the product to deliver more sales and get their money again. That is why we need more games like Lethal Company. Games that pull the dollar away from a $10 Fortnite skin and instead into an enjoyable game is $10 that the big company didn't get. And when games are as popular as Lethal Company is, that makes a huge difference. This has already started to happen, and I think it's really exciting. I can promise that with some of the games I have been playtesting, that companies are realizing this. The age of making good, competitive games is starting to make a comeback. A similar story to Overwatch being Game of the Year, just another title, is right over the horizon. Gaming has been super stale for a while, and more players are starting to realize this truth. And that is why games like Lethal Company are so important for the health of the entire industry. When those games do reveal themselves from the horizon, I know that I will be right there to cover and enjoy them alongside you all. And I hope you'll be right there with me. So enjoy the great games 2023 has brought to us. But until next time, I've got to peace out and Paz out. I'll see you in the next one.